What's up everybody, welcome back to another review, and today we will be reviewing the NECA Ultimate Creature from the Black Lagoon, aka Gill Man. So without further ado, let's get in the review. Okay, so the tip to his, from the tips of his feet to the tip of his head, he is about a little over 8 inches tall, which in reality he is projected to be 7 foot tall, and we will get into that size comparison later on in the video with other figures. So this figure doesn't have an enormous amount of accessories, but he does have some interchangeable heads and some interchangeable hands. So let's take a look at the hands first. Here we have these kind of like splayed wide open hands, which by the way, the detail on these hands are like some of the best detail I've seen on hands. So really cool hands here. They captured it perfectly. Alrighty, and we also have these other kind of like relaxed hands, I almost want to say. These kind of like more, I guess just relaxed hands. I mean, that's all I know how to explain these. Of course, you can see how wonderful the paint work is on these. Sorry, I was holding them in the wrong positioning. Then we have sort of like these pointing finger hands, aka grasping a face hand. Again, wonderful detail on the hands. Now here in the head department, we have the mouth open head, which is a very nice head sculpt. It has very nice paint apps. My one eye here is a little bit mispainted and it kind of looks a little cross-eyed, but that'll be fine. From like this direction, you can't really tell it. And then here we have probably the head that I'm not going to use at all because it just looks odd. Is this movable jaw head? There's nothing wrong with the head sculpt, I just don't see myself using it. Like, the jaw moves very well. Let's take a look on how this figure moves. He has a pretty good head maneuvering system here. It's kind of like Star Wars Black Series, where you got like a dumbbell up here and a ball joint down here, which if you can maneuver this fin right here, you can get him to look up about like that, with the fin being on the fins, and look up about like that, which is about neutral for him. He can look down really good. He can not move his head all the way around because of this fin sculpt, but that's fine. You don't need a spinning head creature. And his head does have some nice tilt. His arms go all the way around. They come out about that far. And he does have a double joint, which is hindered a little bit by some of the sculpt, which gets you about right there, which is pretty good. And there is some elbow swivel there. I think there is a swivel at the forearm as well. The hand moves in and out and spins all the way around. This figure's crunch is about like that, which is pretty nice. He doesn't have much arc back because of all his fins in the back, so that's about as far as you're going to get. That's pretty much neutral. He can kick out that far, which is really good for a NECA figure. He can kick out about that far, and he does have a thigh swivel up there. This figure is on ball joints, just so you can see, and he has a swivel up there. He does have double jointed knees here, which can get you about right there, so that's pretty good. In the ankle department, his foot goes down about that far, and his foot goes up about that far. He does have some nice ankle rotation, aka ankle rocker, and that joint up there does swivel, so you don't have to swivel the leg to swivel the foot, so that's a plus. So overall, this figure's articulation is really tight. Not tight, but it's really smooth and really good. So I think you'll enjoy playing with this figure. Alrighty, so now let's get into the design of this figure. And when I tell you this is a modern day creature that I want, I am not exaggerating here. This figure's head looks impeccable, which, you know, it's NECA, so they're going to nail head sculpts no matter who the figure is. If the figure was anybody, they would nail it. Even the hardest person to nail, they would nail it. But this head sculpt is just really fantastic. They put this like gloss over it to make it kind of look a little slimy, even though he doesn't feel slimy, so you don't have to really worry about that. I kind of like how that they kind of has iridescent paint on his gills there, which is pretty cool. It comes off more in person than it does on the camera. It's kind of like a metallic-y. And then I really love how they got the fin on the back of the neck going all the way down the back. Just some really impeccable texture work and some impeccable sculpting work, and all the paints look good. This is the first creature I've seen with blue eyes though, so I'm going to take it that that's accurate. And he does have like a dash of green like right up in there. He does, like right in the tip of the eye, or right in the middle of the eye. He's got some nice green. I'm glad they didn't oversaturate the lips to make it look a little odd, because Diamond Select did that with one of their creatures, not the creature that I have from them, but they made the lips too red on the Diamond Select one, and it didn't look right. But here it's perfectly saturated with the rest of the figure. It matches in very well. Then we move down to the torso, and as you can already see, you have to, with the torso movement, you have to line up these like this chest plate thing. I don't really know what to call this area, but if you want all these to be lined up, then you're going to maneuver the sculpt a little bit. But this figure is, you know, once you get those aligned, it's pretty much seamless, or with the, you know, with the flow of the figure. Like, you would never know that there is articulation here unless, you know, you really looked at it with a magnifying scope. Then you got like some more excellent texturing here, some like this nice little paint of like gold on the tip here, which is really nice. The arms are really cool too, as you can see here. You got a nice little dark cactus green, I want to say, going into that dark spruce green. And then, you know, like the hands also share this kind of like iridescent paint on the tip of the fingers, if you can see that on camera. Like, it's a nice little like flow with that iridescence. I really like it. And then on the back you have some more of that excellent fin work. It's just really good detail work on that. And then you have like this fin on the back of the forearm, or the bottom of the forearm rather. The back is really cool. I like these little spike things, and I didn't really notice that pretty much all the creature figures that I have that, so that's pretty cool. Didn't even notice the actual creature had that, to be honest. And then you have the other arm, which looks pretty much the exact same as the other arm. Now we move down to the legs and the feet, which are probably like the bread and butter of this figure, since this is one of the first things you see in the movie is the creature's legs. And you got some more of that wonderful texturing work on the legs here. That stops right here where it's nice and smooth around the shin, which is how you would imagine this creature to be like it's all gills until you get to the shin, and it's a little tougher, so the shins will be protected. That's what I'm going with, at least. I have no clue if that's actual, but the front of the legs look great. Then we have like the back of the calves here, where you got some more of those fins on the sides, got some more of that texturing work. You know, not really anything missed here. And then you can see like the back of the feet here. And then, you know, like the feet are one of the things that are just excellent about this figure. It's kind of like the hands where they have that like iridescence again on the toes of the creature here. Then you have some of that webbing between the joints, and I didn't mention that up here, but like that's an important part of the creature as well, is to get that webbing. Then on the bottom of the foot, it's just pretty much some nice texturing on the bottom here, and then you got like pads here. It's not as painted as good because, you know, the paint would come off on the bottom of the feet, but they detailed it on the bottom of the feet at least with some sculpt work, which I really appreciate. And yeah, overall this figure looks amazing. He really does. He's one of the best looking NECA figures that NECA has made so far. Now here we have some creature comparisons here. We have the Diamond Select. I believe this is a Toys R Us exclusive figure. It's one of the deluxe figures that came with the little diorama bases. We have the creature from the Black Lagoon from Diamond Select here, and then we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive retro creature toy here. And as you can see, between these two, I don't really know which looks better. From a visual standpoint, you can make the argument that this figure looks better than this figure, but you could also make the argument vice versa. I think what my official decision will be is that this figure looks better than this figure. I think this figure looks more accurate than this one. And that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. And this figure is basically just all reuse of sculpt here. But here it's executed better because there's no loose joints yet with this figure here. With this figure, its ankle's already weak. This is a really funny comparison as well, just with these two. But here we have the Ultimate Edition, and I believe I forgot the number. I'm going to go with 17, Ultimate Edition 17, Andre the Giant. And we have the Jada Toys Entertainment Earth glow in the dark exclusive, which it's kind of cool. I have two glow in the dark figures of the creature, and as you can see here, like, this figure is significantly smaller than this figure. That's because this figure works more in that like 6-inch scale, where this figure would work better with your 7-inch scale figures. But creature is slated to be 7 foot tall, and Andre here is 7'2", I believe is his actual height. But as you can see here, the creature kind of towers over Andre, which it's fine because two different figures from two different lines of two different genres, you know, so I can accept this figure being smaller than this figure because, you know, just how it goes. We have the original Frankenstein, the first one from this wave, NECA Ultimate Frankenstein in color, and then we have the in color Dracula NECA Ultimate. And as you can see, this figure fits in very well with others from his line, and I've been really impressed with this line so far, because seeing this with modern articulation of figures is amazing to me, that we have new updated Universal monsters, and I can't wait to see what else they have. But here we have these comparisons here, and creature looks really good next to his brethren. Here we have the Super 7 Nosferatu Ultimate figure from Super 7, and this figure looks pretty good to be a nice little Super 7 figure. Yeah, but you can see that creature towers over Nosferatu, and I will do a review of the NECA Nosferatu. I just didn't do one of the Super 7 Nosferatu. So, overall, this figure is probably the best creature from the Black Lagoon figure you can get. This figure looks phenomenal. He is phenomenal in the hand, and he will go great with your Universal Monster collection. Now, I am going to do a video in the future of October, and I just want to address this first. If NECA does their 31 Nights of Fright this year, I'm going to try to cover it this year. I know last year I did not cover any of it, but if they do it again, which I hope they do, because I really enjoy seeing all the reveals, and it comes when it's needed, because usually this is a dry it's been a little dry months of Universal Monsters, so I'm hoping that they will do the 31 Nights of Frights and reveal some more Universal Monsters stuff. I did want to address that. Hopefully I'll be doing a ranking video of all the NECA Universal Monsters that we've gotten so far, so definitely stay tuned for that. I hope you all have enjoyed this review. I hope you all have enjoyed learning about this figure. But anyway, I hope you all have had a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you all have enjoyed my video, and I will see you all in the next review. Bye.